2024. And as you know, it is Children's Day. It is a day that, of course, quite a number of us, because some of us still see ourselves as children, yes, is a day that every adult who probably has a guardian or a father or a parent figure can boldly say, I'm a child, yeah? So we get to celebrate each and every one of us, but particularly for our offspring, those who are still coming up, those that we have the charge and the responsibility to be, their leaders and to be role models to. Yes, these are the ones that we are talking about today. And that being said, we would also look into a matter that bothers around the plight of the Nigerian child in today's political space, right? The plight of the Nigerian child in today's political space is what we'll be looking at as a topical issue. But then it is also very important to note the fact that today, being May 27, 2024, Nigeria celebrates Children's Day. It is a day that is dedicated to promoting the welfare and well-being of children. Now, this year's theme, for every child, every right, resonates deeply with our topic, as we also examine the challenges faced by Nigerian children. We must understand and consider how our political landscape impacts their future. Now, with 42% of Nigeria's population under 15 years old and 70% under 30, our young population is our greatest asset. That is the truth. Now, however, they remain the most oppressed, yes, facing economic hardship, food insecurity, widespread insecurity, and our topic really delves into the heart of these issues. We'll be exploring how our political space affects the most vulnerable members of our society. But then we want to, first of all, look at, it from the place of the law, right? Where does the law stand in this regard? But I have my guest who is in the studio with me, as we will also be joined by yet another guest who's going to be joining us via phone call. That will be a barrister. But first of all, let me bring to your audio visuals the fact that my guest who is in the studio is no other person but Mr. William Pope, is the principal of Kia Lakeside Academy, and is in Wuye right there. Welcome aboard, Mr. William Pope.
Thank you.
That's right. Feels good to have you in the studio, though. And that smile also tells me that you are indeed a child educator, and there is a lot to say about our children today. Right. Well, then, that being said, let's also get into, our other guest who is going to be joining us via phone call is no other person but Barrister James Onoja, right? He's got an LMB, BL at PA Omengala and Co. Is going to be talking to us just a little bit, right, about the place of the law with regards, children's rights, especially on a day like this. It is important for us to, talk about this and look at it from every aspect as it comes, right? Whether we're looking at it from the social political aspect, we're looking at it from a social angle, we're looking at it from the place of law. Very important, because not quite a number of persons have these understanding, when it comes to matters like this. And it is our job in the media to educate, right, each and every one of us who are yet, trying to get across to him. Let me get with you, Mr. William. I mean, you've been one who has been in the place within the ambits of education for quite some time. Yes, and I can say you've seen 99 when it comes to, when it comes to impacting, children from the place of their cradle years up until the time that they become adults and all of that. What would Children's Day, May 27, mean to you personally?
I think for me, it means personally a day to celebrate our children.
Yeah.
Celebrate their achievements.
Okay.
Celebrate their talent. And to ensure that we create a desire in them to develop a life vision, to have goals and aspirations to follow.
So that's what it is for you. Well, it's fallen on the 27th day in the month of May, and it happens to not be a Friday. It happens to not be a Saturday, which is the weekend. It doesn't happen to be on a Sunday, which is the first day of the work week of the week rather. But it's fallen on the first day of the work week, which is a Monday. How would you advise that a day like this be commemorated or celebrated?
Well, that could be quite a controversial issue.
Right.
It's a school day, it's a work day. But I do believe that we could, as schools and families, make it an educational fun day.
Educational fun day. Right.
Looking at Children's Day from the perspective of various subjects. Let's take English, for example.
Okay.
There are children authors.
Right.
So in the English lesson, you can take a look at child authors, child poets, and the other subjects can do something similar. Children characters in history.
Right. Right. But then, do you think that the child in today's age in Nigeria are equipped with such skills and exposed to such?
In our schools, we are promoting
Right.
research skills. We are promoting critical thinking skills.
Right.
We are promoting creativity skills.
Right.
I really do believe that children are up to the task. And the other dynamic is the fact that technology is playing a bigger and bigger role in the lives of children. Even artificial intelligence
AI, yeah.
is on the platform in education right now.
Right. Well, that being said, let's look at some critical questions. I mean, there has been quite a number of things that befalls the Nigerian parents, especially in a time like this. I wouldn't want you to delve politically, though, but I mean, you are in this dispensation. You're within this space, so you see what's going on and everything. How do you think that the economic realities in Nigeria is impacting our child today? Personally, from your own point of view, I mean, from your wealth of experience, yeah, you've of course seen times pass and times come.
I think children are being faced with new challenges.
Right.
And as parents and educators, in spite of the negativity of the various challenges, we have to remain positive.
Great.
And find solutions to the challenges that we are facing. And I think we'll be quite surprised to see how resilient our children are,
Yeah.
and how creative they can be, and what solutions they could possibly come up with.
Well, some people have seen that children as being very weak, and people, a set of people who probably don't know the left from the right. Would you say that that's indeed the case?
Well, I wouldn't definitely not say that is the case.
Okay.
Anything but.
Yeah.
Children are quite resilient.
Right.
And it's a dynamic and a characteristic trait that we need to develop.
Right.
We are there to guide them. We are there to facilitate their future for them. Definitely not weak. Children can do amazing things.
Right. But are we giving them the chance to explore these, innate talents and gifts?
I do believe that is happening.
Okay.
More and more schools and platforms for children are being encouraged and challenged to do just that.
Right. But when you say more and more schools and platforms are being encouraged to do just that, the question on the mind of a listener right now would be, whose job is it to allow for the enabling environment for our children to soar, to explore, to identify and get to know themselves even more Is it on the table of the parents, or is it with the school authorities or the teachers and all of that?
I think many people would want me to give the answer
Yeah.
that the government is responsible. However, I feel very strongly that I am the government.
Right.
I am at the forefront
Exactly.
of dealing with children.
Okay.
And all my colleagues are as well, whether they're a classroom teacher or a school leader. I do believe that the initial prime responsibility lies with the people that are at the forefront of educating children, whether
Right.
it's in school or church or the mosque.
Okay.
However,
Right.
a bonus is when a government can also take the lead and through their various policies create a scenario whereby issues within schools are addressed.
Okay. 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 All right. Create the scenarios whereby issues within schools are addressed, and then you made something that is very, very, clear. You said, "I am the government," and that resonates deeply, I must say. But let's talk about, the fact that we've not seen a lot of participation of youths, first of all, when it comes to matters that concern politics, especially in Nigeria here. Now, some are saying that the catchword that says charity begins at home should indeed have begun from the place of these youths when they were children. So would you say then that there is a need to begin to expose the children to political sciences as subjects to be taught in schools?
I think there's definitely a lack of practical involvement.
Right.
There are countries that have children's parliament, children's town councils. Within their schools, children are given the opportunity to develop a children's voice.
Okay.
Their voice is heard. But I must tell you that from a theoretical point of view, there are subjects in our schools, our Nigerian schools particularly, that the education regarding the functioning of political bodies,
Yeah.
Parliament, House of Representatives, the Senate, the amount of education that they're given in those subjects is very intense.
Okay.
But as I said, there's a very clear misconnect between practical experience
Right.
and theory.
Practical experience and theory have not been able to sync, in terms of collaboration and all of that. But then, all right, that being said, let's examine some of the laws that border on, the child, in Nigeria, right? I mean, not just in Nigeria, but even outside Nigeria, all right? Trying to get through with our guest who's a barrister, but it seems as though there's somewhat a lack of connection, at the moment. But let's just examine it just briefly. Now, there is the Child Rights Act of 2003, where this law aims to protect the rights and well-being of Nigerian children. Now, it also ensures that the Nigerian child has access to education, healthcare, and protection from exploitation and abuse. Now, there is also the Universal Declaration of Human Rights that was in 1948, where this international treaty recognized the inherent dignity and equal rights of all members of the human family, including children. There is also the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, 1989, and this one is set out as a right of the children, including the rights to life, survival, to development, and the rights to protection and all of that from discrimination, neglect, and abuse. But if we brought it back home to Nigeria, you would also see that in Section 17, bracket 3 of the 1999 Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria, this section states that the state shall direct its policy towards ensuring that there are adequate medical health facilities for all persons, including children. And Section 8.1 of the 1999 Constitution as well says that the government shall, I remember you mentioned something about the government doing more and all of that. Government shall direct its policy towards ensuring that there are equal and adequate educational opportunities at all levels. And the last one that I would like to bring before I, table my thoughts, to you, as much as I also know that the listener is also very anticipated to, have their voice in, would be Section 33 of the 1999 Constitution, where it states that every child has the rights to life, survival, and development, and the rights to protection and from discrimination, neglect, and abuse. Now, when we look at all of these, and we see, how the child is being affected, would you say that we have done enough, first of all, as parents, as educationists, or educators, as even the government, to securing the lives of our children and to ensuring that they indeed have the gains that emanate from all of these laws? From your, from your time as an educator, in the process and the system and all of that, have we done enough?
I think in education we always have to improve on what we're doing. We always
Okay, so constant. Okay, yeah.
want to do more.
Right.
We're always capable of doing more. I don't think we could ever be satisfied that we have done enough. There must be a culture of continuous improvement in what we are doing.
Right.
And if we look at the situation out there, I think that is definitely a very clear mantra that there's a lot more that we can do.
There's a lot more that we can do, whether as parents, whether as educators, whether as the government. And you've heard it first from my guest who is in the studio, Mr. William Pope, is the principal of Kia Lakeside Academy right here in Abuja. Well, it's time for you to also bring your thoughts in. You want to, commemorate this day. You want to say something about our children, right? And you also want to speak with the educationist right here in the studio. You might as well do that via the studio number 0907 353 0044 or 0908 766 8888, and the WhatsApp portal number where you can send your WhatsApp portal message to, voice notes as well, and you can also drop a text message to this number would be 0909 705 4450. So these are the numbers that you can connect with me via, and please keep it short and simple, go straight to the point. Do not attack personality, address the topical issue in discourse, and let's have a wonderful deliberation, right? And if you're watching outside the shores of Nigeria, as I believe that you're surfing the internet right now and you're making a stop via the YouTube channel, thank you. Do well to get on to Eagles FM Abuja. Do well to subscribe, and as well get onto the Twitter handle at Eagles FM Abuja. Give us a following. Get onto the Facebook page wall. Give us a like. Give us a following. And we'd be glad that you did. This is just for us to get to know that you're a part of the family, and we can grow, together. And that's what it is. If you're finding a bit of a stress getting across via the studio lines, it will also be good to call the WhatsApp portal number, which is 0909 75 4450, or you call these numbers 0907 353 0044 or 0908 766 8888. Right? We're still talking about the matter that concerns our children, being the fact that today is May 27, 2024, and my guest is still in the studio, is in the person of Mr. William Pope, is a principal of Kia Lakeside Academy. Well, Mr. Pope, let's delve into, something, some critical questions. I mean, One of such would be access to quality education. Access to quality. That put a smile on your face. That indeed it should. Yeah. How can we ensure that we equal access to quality education for all Nigerian children, regardless of the socio-economic background of our geographical location? I mean, when the statistic shows that over 10 million children in Nigeria are out of school, and that's according to UNICEF in 2020. And what would be your reaction to this?
We have a massive backlog. We have a massive challenge.
Right.
When it gets to education across the board.
Right.
There are those who are advantaged by the efforts of their parents, of their families, who are able to enjoy high quality education.
Exactly.
But then at the same time, there are those who don't have the access to that. And recently, I must say that I've had the opportunity to mix with children from the day-to-day schools.
Okay.
And I've been quite surprised by the resilience and the creativity and the talent. I've been quite impressed.
Okay.
But how to address this problem is really a radical issue. It's everybody in society needs to tackle this problem. Not just the government. The government should do their part. I'm not exonerating the government in any way.
Right.
You know, I need to tell you that I'm a history teacher.
Oh,
And that in
okay.
history, but it's always been the individual talent that has come to light with a solution at the end of the day.
Right.
Not necessarily a government. And that's why I keep emphasizing our role as individuals. We are very quick and very easy to shift the blame onto the government, and rightly so.
Right.
But then at the same time, what are we doing?
Right. At the same time,
That's
what are we
my-
doing? Yeah,
Right.
to make that possible, right? In our own little way, right? I think this calls for, some sort of looking inwardly and saying, hey, what have we done? What have we not done to ensuring that we got it rightly? And maybe when we start from our own little way, they say little droplets make an ocean, right? Then we might just be able to make it gargantuan, whereby it becomes large and big. And then, we have children who would becoming, generational children benefiting from some of these deeds of hard work that we've put into the process. Well, you two want to bring your voice in. 0907-353-0044 is that number to call. The other number, 0908-766-8888 is that number. And WhatsApp portal number is 0909-705-4450. What would be the challenges that Nigerian children face today from your own perspective view?
Well, I think we know that there are many challenges.
Right.
Right now, we find ourselves in an economic challenge in the country.
Right.
I think many children don't have access to training
Right.
after school or developing skills to qualify as in careers of various kinds.
Yeah.
But the environmental challenges, housing challenges, the challenge of how the world is changing,
Right.
changing very fast. As digital internet technology is playing a huge role, and sometimes many of the children don't have access to all those devices and internet to be able to keep up.
Right, and then we're not to talk about the child labor, exploitation right there, discrimination here and there, and the place of even child marriage has also been an issue, where some children have not been given the privilege or the opportunity to even get to know themselves physically, and then they are already put into marriage. And then there is also the place of limited political awareness and participation, and some of the issues, especially looking at how things have been run so far in the present dispensation, the political instability here and there. I'm not talking general terms now, because of course general terms there's no political instability, but when you look at some of the regions of the country, we are seeing insecurity here and there, and that also you and I know that they say when two elephants fight, the grass suffers. In this case, when two strong people are indeed having a back and forth here and there, most of the time it is the women and the children that suffer the most. But then for you, there's quite a number of things that might be the issues that bedevil the child in Nigeria, within the Nigerian space, especially when you look at the place of child poverty and hunger, right? Where about statistics has it that 64% of Nigerian children live in poverty, and according to National Bureau of Statistics, that was in 2020. And the question now arises, what initiatives can we put together to ensuring that we are able to address the staggering number of children living in poverty and hunger in Nigeria? But I would like you to save that thought as we go pay some bills. When we come back, of course, it will be us having this conversation, having your thoughts in the discourse, as we have our guest who is in the studio, is in the person of Mr. William Pope, and we get going. And then if you also have some thoughts that you want to share as a goodwill message for our children today, you might as well do well to connect with Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja, and let's have those cheerful thoughts, right? It will go a long way in encouraging a child, at least one child, touch one life, and you never just know, you might be touching hundreds of lives through that. We'll be right back in a short bit. Don't go away.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja. Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Please listen to this announcement. Luxler Construction Limited presents a limited time offer on its off-plan price for Kasana houses till June 15th. Grab these incredible deals. 4-bedroom terrace duplex at 40 million naira. 3-bedroom terrace duplex at 35 million naira. 2-bedroom flat at 23 million naira. And 3-bedroom flat at 28 million naira. The first two buyers of the 3-bedroom duplex will get it at 33 million naira. For Life Camp, the ongoing project is still available and many subscribers are moving into the estate. 3-bedroom terrace duplex at 43 million naira and 4-bedroom terrace duplex at 52 million naira. Covered by NHF and rent-to-own scheme. They also offer 6 to 12 months flexible payment plans. For more information, contact Luxler Construction Limited at 070-5758-2753. That is 070-5758-2753. Secure your dream house now.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
My people, the thing where they happen for my area,
Do you think I will now find out that you have contract to bring fresh girls?
I brought you from the gutters. Who gave you all the connects? MDG who? Without me. you would have been nobody. But
Join Media Coalition and Awareness to halt human trafficking, MICAT, on I Wish I Knew radio drama every Saturday at 10 a.m. Let us join hands and kick human trafficking out of our communities. I Wish I Knew radio drama, brought to you by MICAT in partnership with the National Agency for Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, and funded by the Embassy of Denmark in Nigeria.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Please listen to this announcement. Breath King Homes and Properties Limited announces a 40% discount on Bismuth City, Kurudu. 180 square meters for a 2-bedroom terrace duplex, now selling for 1.8 million naira. 350 square meters for a 3-bedroom terrace duplex, now selling for 3.5 million naira. 500 square meters for a 3-bedroom fully detached bungalow with a BQ, now selling for 4 million naira. 550 square meters for a 4-bedroom fully detached penthouse with a 2-room BQ, now selling for 4.5 million naira. Our site location is before Army Estate, Phase 5, Kurudu, Abuja. Our office address is Suite 47, Shalom Plaza, Plot 1088, Joseph Gomwalk Street, Gudu, Abuja. Call 080-6222-0673. That is 080-6222-0673. Breath King Homes and Properties Limited. Announcer.
No offense to the commercials. It's just that we want to see other audio.
Eagles 102.3.
All right, this is Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja, where we give you an audio-visual radio experience that you can count on anytime, any day. If you are in doubt, you're going to get across social media platforms where we have a strong presence, talking about YouTube, talking about Facebook, Instagram, talking about X, formerly Twitter, and of course TikTok at Eagles FM Abuja. And see that what I say is the truth. We're still talking about the plight of the Nigerian child, especially within the political landscape in Nigeria, and we have our guest who is an educationist, who is one who's been seasoned in the business of having children grow from the place of training as children into adulthood, and he's in the person of Mr. William Pope, who's the principal of Kia Lakeside Academy, right in Abuja, right here. And yes, we've talked quite a lot about what should be our responsibility and whose desk should it be. The responsibility of grooming our child and creating that environment where our children can indeed bask in a wealth of initiatives, whether self-developed or initiatives that has been, put together by either the government or, even schools. Yes, and we're still having your thoughts. You can as well join the conversation and call the studio number, that is 0907 353 0044 or 0908 766 8888, and the WhatsApp portal number would be 0909 705 4450, right? All right, just before we went on that break, we had a question that was put out there, and that question allows for you to tell us what you think in that regard. But let's not even go there, because there is something that I want us to look at, which is much more important. But before we do so, I think we got a call. Okay, that's trying to call. Okay, right. I see that you're trying as much as you can. Well, keep trying. You would get through. And